What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, we dive into the Phantom bot draft that's happening currently in MTG Arena. This is of the new set of the Streets of New Capenna, so it's definitely a cool little draft format to kind of get into if you want to try out Limited if you haven't really played a lot. Just because I know if you're a free-to-play player or a budget player, maybe you don't always have the 5,000 minimum entry fee to play just the normal bot draft that usually cycles around, the various sets throughout the weeks, or even play the premier draft. And I think this is definitely, one of the best entry points for, being a newer player to draft, because it is against bots. You're not pressured against a timer. You can sit there and kind of just think about your picks if you're especially unfamiliar with the cards, kind of see how, what the cards do, kind of read through and kind of understand the various cards that are in the set and how you open them up, and maybe try to figure out how to make your decisions. So we're going to be diving into one. This is actually my alt account. I actually already did this on my main account, so I'm using my alt account. We're going to dive into a draft. We're going to kind of see how, the cards are that we get, and kind of see what happens at the end. And then we'll probably play through a few games, kind of see how the deck we draft overall performs. With that being said, if you like the video, hit that like button. Definitely helps out a lot. If you're new here, you want to post new videos on the channel, hit that subscribe button. With that being said, let's just dive in the draft and let's start, drafting. So the first and foremost thing is when you get into a draft, especially a bot draft, as I can kind of sit here and I can kind of talk to you guys through, is we kind of want to analyze the packs. And as you kind of see here, we kind of see the colors of, the various cards that we do get, and we kind of try to figure out what are the best cards in this particular pack. If you're a player who, if you're going to keep the cards, you could always go rare drafting. Rare drafting is, one of those good ways to get rares that you may not already own copies of, or kind of finished sets of particular cards. Though if you're looking to try to, succeed in draft, it's not always the most ideal. And because this is a Phantom draft, and if, you're not really sold on a rare, I wouldn't suggest taking the rare in that regard. And then we kind of want to go through. So, Horde Hauler is pretty decent. It's a 4 cost in Trampler 5/5 with a crew of 3. And whenever it deals combat damage to a player, we create a treasure token for each artifact they control. Interesting. I wouldn't say it's an amazing card, but it's definitely one of those things. There's definitely a rule of thumb, if you've ever drafted before, called bread. You want to draft bombs, removal, evasion, and then aggro, and then there's always the duds, which are usually the last few cards that are picked within the packs that you are drafting. The other thing when we're starting here and drafting is we don't want to immediately pick a color. This is one of those tougher sets because, a lot of the stuff is multicolor. Like we have like the Naya colors. We have, we have the Grixis colors. We got a little bit of Azorius here, which probably blends a little bit with the Esper of the set. So it's definitely one of those things in that regard. But, we kind of want to look at the cards. So probably going to rule out this. I don't think this is what we're going to take. Slip out the back, put a +1/+1 counter. It phases out. It doesn't seem super strong. It doesn't seem like a card we want to pick one overall in the draft. Cleanup Crew actually is a very strong card from what I played in other drafts. It's 6 mana, 6/6. It has abilities of destroying target artifact, destroy target enchantment, exile a card from graveyard, or gain 4 life. That's definitely a card I would suggest being maybe the best card so far in the pack as we've read through. Corpse Appraiser, it's a 3 mana, 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, exile 1 target creature card from graveyard, and if the card is put into exile this way, look at the top 3 cards of your library, and we get to put one of those cards into the hand and the rest into our graveyard. So a little bit of a draw, a little bit deeper. This kind of probably goes really well with that having certain casting costs in your graveyard. Definitely a pretty strong card too for 3 mana and a 3/3. Definitely not that bad. Boon of Safety, it's a 1 mana instant speed spell that we get to scry 1, put a shield counter on something. Definitely not a pick 1. Probably something we could probably pick up later if that's the color we go into. Experimental Lackey, a 1/1 that we can exile it, create a fish when it's in our graveyard. Yet again, doesn't seem like a very pick 1. Doesn't seem super explosive. Majestic Metamorphosis, interesting card here. It's a 4, it's an instant speed spell that we can create a 4/4 angel creature token with flying, and then we get to draw a card. It's a good card. I just wouldn't say it's a bomb. Cutthroat Contender to 1/1 that we can pay 1 life. Gets +1/+0 to end a turn. Not really super crazy. Fake Your Own Death seems like a little bit of a combat trick. Nothing super crazy there. Plasma Jockey, 4 mana, 3/1. Whenever it attacks, target creature and opponent controls can't block this turn. That's actually a really good card, and it has the Blitz ability that you can cast it for its Blitz cost, which means it just comes into the battlefield with haste, and then you can sacrifice it at the end of combat. Definitely a good card, I think, overall, though I'm not sure if it's better than the Cleanup Crew in that regard. But then we go into like the rest of the set. We have 3 mana instant speed spell that we look at the top 5 cards of the library, look for a creature card, get a 1/1 citizen. Not a pick 1. This is pretty good, but yet again, I don't know if we want to commit to at least 2 colors. It's a 2/3 that we tap target creature and opponent controls, and doesn't untap if we control a creature with a counter during the next untap step. We got Jetmir's Fixer to 2 mana 2/2 that we can tap 2, give a +1/+1 to end a turn. If mana from treasure was spent to activate the spell, we get a +1/+1 counter on it instead. Not bad, but yet again, a card that commits us to at least 2 colors if we do pick it. And then we have the Rakesh Revelers. This is actually not a bad card in the sense it's a 5 mana 5/3 that enters the battlefield. We get a 1/1 citizen token, so we do get, it's like a 2-for-1 in that regard. And in the early game, we can actually exile it and then make our land we control produce red, green, or white mana. So it's definitely a mana fixer. But yet again, that means we're committed to 3 colors already, and we haven't really seen any other cards. So I think we're going to stay with the cleanup crew because this kind of keeps our options open. We can either go Jund, we can either continue on, you know, the Naya path, or even go Bant. So depending on how it goes, we do have some options there. So cleanup crew it is. Now in the next pack here, it looks like our computer opponent, we got rid of you know, the rare, so that's definitely one of those things. And we want to look, you know, in that regard, if we want to look at the R part of bread, it's the removal piece. Do we want to look at any removal here, you know, and kind of analyze the cards as we look through? We do have a, you know, Torch Breath, which is good against blue permanents, and we can, you know, can't be countered, and it deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker, so big spot removal spell. And it can be whatever, you know, we can cast with X, and it's cheaper if we cast on a blue thing. You know, we got a 2 mana 2/2 Voice of the Vermin, comes in the battlefield, 4 mana 2/2, and then whenever it attacks, target creature control has base power and toughness of 4/4 into end of turn. That's not that bad. Broker's Initiate, it's a 1 mana 0/4, nothing super crazy. So I still think we're looking for more bombs in this regard. I don't think we're going to commit just to anything yet. That's kind of how I go about it. But you know, dependent on unless there's like a really good card that sticks out, maybe non-bomb ish, you can maybe go ahead and pick that instead. But yet again, I don't know if we want to commit to colors. It looks like there's a little bit of green available. There's white available. There's not really any, you know, there's a little bit of red, a little bit of black, not really any blue. So I definitely think blue may be out so far. But yet again, we're not committed just yet. We continue going through Ready to Rumble. Just a little spot removal spell at sorcery speed. Not the greatest. 5 mana is a little expensive. This is actually not that bad. 4 mana 3/1 with Menace, and it connives where we, you know, draw a card, discard a card, non-land card. It gets +1/+1 and has Menace, so it's got that, you know, evasion. So it's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's a bomb, but yet again, it's a good card. Maybe if we get it later, we can pick it up. Crooked Custodian, a 2 mana 3/2, not too bad. Comes in battlefield tapped, but definitely a very aggressive card. You know, being a 3/2, but yet again, I don't think we're at that point where we're looking at, you know, the more aggro-ish cards. Yet again, another Majestic Metamorphosis. Nothing super crazy here. Swap Mountain or Forest, you know, mana fixer. That's actually not that bad. We got a Shattered Seraph, also not that bad. But yet again, it's a card that commits us to Esper at least if we want to go Esper, or we want to try experimenting to go as many colors as possible. Though it does have the option to give us fix in until we actually are able to cast it. But it's a kind of expensive card at 7 mana. So it's definitely maybe one of those things because we already have a 6 mana card. Maybe we not want to draft that. And you got Body Dropper. Yet again, a very good card. If we decide to go the sacrifice route, it gets bigger. And then we can sacrifice another creature, give it Menace at the end of turn, making that evasion there. But I think in this pack, it's probably one of these two. And I think it's probably going to be the Voice of the Vermin, in the sense that it's going to make another creature that attacks alongside of a 4/4 as well. So I think that's definitely a solid pickup. It also comes in battlefield with a shield counter on it, so it's got that little bit of evasion built into it. So the next pack up is yet again very interesting here. You know, we got the Public Enemy here. It's in an aura, maybe something we want. I think we're not going to go Esper because we have 2 green cards already. I think Esper may be out. We do have the Revideo's Charm. I think this is definitely a strong card here. Target opponent sacrifices creature or planeswalker, highest mana value among creatures I control, so it's got removal in it. Exile top 3 cards of our library until end of your next end step. We can play one of those cards and exile target graveyard. I think that's definitely the strongest card here. It's definitely got a lot of versatility. I do think for being a removal spell and some other spells, it's definitely like a big bomb in that essence. Then we kind of go through Disdainful Stroke. Counters are usually kind of in draft just because sometimes people don't play expensive spells, so that's very, you know, limited on where it can target. We're not out of town. Because we're not going Esper, I don't think blue is the choice here. Maestro's Initiate, not a bad card. You know, it's one of those things, a 3 mana 3/1, and we can exile later in the game if we play like Jund mana in essence because we already have green. For 4 mana or for 5 mana, we can exile from graveyard, draw 2 cards, and discard a card. Mayhem Patrol, yet again a very solid card here. It's got evasion. It's, you know, we play for its split cost. It gives target creature we control +1/+0. It's definitely not a bad card. This one's not the greatest. It creates a treasure token. It's a 1/4, just more of a chump blocker. And then we got some mana fix in here in the land. But yet again, I don't know if we're going to commit to white. But I think it's the Revideo's Charm, I think, is the way I feel like we should go. Then we go into the next pack here. Yet again, you know, we kind of look through, kind of see what we got going on here. Tavern Swindler, 2 mana, 2/2. We can pay 3 life and you know chance it on possibly gaining 6 life. I don't know if that's a great card. We're not going Bant, I don't think. We could draft it. It's a strong card. You know, exiles things. It kind of works like an Aspirant in that sense, you know, or the other guy, the 3 mana, the werewolf thing. But it's definitely a card that we can think about if we want to, if nothing else really strikes us. So I'm going to click on that one, and we're gonna analyze through. Not really explosive. Decent removal spell, though it does give our opponent a treasure token in the process. Lackeys here again. We got Majestic Metamorphosis. Demons do a little bit of draw spell. Incriminate, you know, make opponent sacrifice a creature at sorcery speed for 2 mana. Though they get to choose which of the 2 creatures they control. Gold Hound, a little bit of a quick drop that produces some mana. Prize Fight, a little bit of removal, and then we got the Cabretti Courtyard. You know, this one is the Naya, you know, Courtyard, as it's the Cabretti family. I think it's probably going to be Prize Fight. I think Prize Fight's going to win here because we are on the green side here, and we're not. I don't know if we want to completely switch and go blue-white as well because we have the Revere's Charm. So I think we're going to take Prize Fight, though it could be argued that you could go a different color there. We got another Revere's Charm. I think this is definitely very strong. This is definitely a very good removal. I don't think this shipment's any good. 2/2, if it has a counter on it, also gains flying lifelink. Definitely a combat trick, but we're not really playing white. We're not really playing blue. Midnight Assassin's not bad, but yet again, it's a card I wouldn't take in this early in the draft just because it's not super strong. We're not really going Grixis. This one is for Bant. I don't think we're going Bant. This is blue-white. This is Esper. So I think it's the Revere's Charm just based on the colors we're kind of going so far and the strength of the cards we've gotten. All right, now we're going into the next pack. We can do Deal Gone Bad, -3/-3, another removal, though that puts us a removal at 3. You probably don't want more than 7 removal spells. We could go Chaldea Strong Arm, a 4 mana 2/3 with Blitz that we can put 2 counters to target creature. Not a bad card in that essence. If we're gonna splash black, you can always do the Body Dropper. Not bad for black. So I think it's probably somewhere between these 3. And the question is, do you want to pass up on more removal? It is kind of expensive, but do you want to pass up on removal and hopefully pick it up later? Or do you pick up the removal as you see it and then kind of, you know, pick up the last few? So I think we're going to do this. I think we're going to do the Deal Gone Bad, though, like I said, you could probably argue that you could probably take the creatures just because you don't want to have a bunch of spells and nothing to play. But I do think that is... Other side note, if we were going to go Esper, I definitely would take this card. It's a 2/1 that make our opponent discard a card from their hand, so looks out for that bomb that you could possibly get hit by. So we're going to take the cleanup, the prize. Wait, what did I just take? Deal Gone Bad just because of removal. Next pack up, we have Rob the Archives. Okay, not the greatest for the color scheme because we're not going white. We're not really going blue. Extract the Truth. Not bad, though it's not great. Possibly, if we think we're going to play a lot of small creatures or get a lot of creatures on the battlefield, it's kind of like an Innkeeper, but a little bit more expensive. Civil Servant, we're not really going to splash white, but it is a really good card if we have Citizens. It could make us rethink. And then we got the Tramway Station, so I do think we take the Mana Fixin' if we're going to splash in the other colors, so I think that's going to be the choice here, even though it doesn't seem like a very strong choice. But because I feel like we're kind of leaning Grixis, I think this is definitely going to be, or not Grixis, Jund, I think this is definitely going to be the land we're going to take. Then next up here, we don't really got a lot, but I would say it's either this or this. I don't really think these cards are that great. It's a 2/1 for 2 mana that we can exile in our graveyard, create a treasure token. Not bad, but I don't think it's amazing. I think maybe we take the Flyer here with Death Touch over the 3/2 that we gain life, so I think that's the play. The other cards, we're not playing those colors, so the blue and white cards aren't great. We're not really playing, we could think about the equipment, but equipments are definitely kind of tricky in the regard of you have to equip something and hopefully you don't have removal. But I think we take the thing that, has evasion, has a little bit of removal built into it if it blocks with the Death Touch. Yet again, we got past a lot of blue-white looks open. Maybe Esper, it could be a swing. Maybe we get out of green and we go Esper. And then maybe we throw away the land. I'm not 100% sure. Pay 1 life. If we were going to do that, what would we take? I don't think this is a spell we want to take. I mean, it makes us a little bit aggressive, but we have to pay life at it. Let's just take the. This is tough. You know what? Let's just take the cutthroat. As much as I kind of want to go those colors, I feel like that's not the play. This is really good. So it's this and this as possibility here. This will help us fix mana. This is just a strong creature out of what's here and has evasion, and it helps us draw a card. So I think that's probably the play. We already have one tramway station. Though, like I said, this is definitely good because it helps fix our mana. This is a common. This is a common. Which one we're going to see again, possibly, if we pass it up. We're not going to definitely see either of these because once we kind of go through, we'll be done. You know, we have double green here. I think we'll probably see another one of those. So I think we'll take the Rivetier's Overlook, I think is the idea here. All right, so what do we got going on here? We have some blue cards, which I don't think we're going at all. Glittermonger for 1/4 that creates treasure, but it could be a chump blocker if needed, and a quick draw dagger if we want to give something first strike at flash speed. I think it's the Glittermonger, yet again, not a strong card, but we'll throw it in the sideboard. Maybe we'll think about it if we want to add it in, depending on where we get numbers-wise. We'll take the Tavern Swindler, you know, just because it's black. We'll take another one of these Midnight Assassins. It's definitely a good card, I think, for our deck, and then we'll just take that, and then we go into our next pack. All right, so what do we got going on here? We're not going blue, though. This is a mythic. It's not that bad. It costs 3 less if an opponent has drawn 4 more cards this turn. I don't know if that's going to happen in limited, though it could if they play a lot of Connive. We're not playing blue. Dusk Mangler is definitely very strong. You know, it does a lot. It makes, at the cost of us sacrificing a creature, discarding a card, or paying 4 life, it enters battlefield, and our opponent has to do all 4 of those. So definitely something that I think is playable. Carmella, Glamour Thief. We're not really playing Grixis, and it's more of a deck that focuses around instants and spells because of her secondary ability of, you know, tap into making 3 Grixis mana to play sorceries or spells, and then also when she dies, we get to bring back an instant or sorcery back to our hand. Not playing white, so I think all the white cards are out. Crooked Custodian, something I think can, you know, go around the table and possibly come back to us. Cutthroat Contender, yet again, same card. Incriminate, not great. You know, it's one of those things, make our opponents choose between 2 creatures and make them make them sacrifice 1. Though, if it does come around, maybe it's something we can play. And then we also have, you know, another Rivetier's Outlook, which is something I think can come around, but I do think we take this as it is kind of like the bomb of the pack, I think, for our colors. So we take the Dusk Mangler. Then we go up to the next pack here. Nothing super exciting for us up top. It looks like the computer took the rare. As you guys see here, we have all 3 uncommons. We're only on pick 2 of pack 2, so that means the rare is gone. Anything that sticks out is we have the Bouncer's Beatdown. Definitely not bad. It gets exiled instead, which could be very good if there's anything that triggers death effects, so definitely not bad. So maybe the Bouncer's Beatdown, that bring our removal up to 4, and as something comes down the road, I think a fire truck. Anyway, Crooked Custodian, 2 mana, 3/2, enters battlefield tap, not bad. Mill 2, return to creature card, definitely something I think could get rotated around the table, possibly, unless somehow the computer's playing black and taking black cards. This kind of came around, so if we really need to, we can always pass on that. I don't think this is kind of the way we're going. We're not really producing tokens or anything that's going to generate this alliance trigger every turn, but it's still a decent 2/1 for 2 mana. Warm Welcome, yet again, another thing big for creatures. Jetmir's Fixer could be a card here. I don't know if we're producing a lot of creatures, but definitely a good card at a 2/2 for, and then pump it for 2. But I think we take the removal. I think that's definitely a strong removal because it does exile if we do, you know, get, you know, in on combat against our opponent. Vampire Scavenger, it's a 5 mana 2/2 flyer. If whenever we gain life, put a +1/+1 counter. Whenever we lose life during our turn, we get a +1/+1 counter. So definitely something that on the surface has a lot of abilities, but is still 2/2, and it does probably take a while for us to trigger either of those, and we have to do one or the other in order for it to get bigger. Rivetier's Charm, yet again, a very, very good removal. I think that could be already the play here. We're not playing white, we're not playing blue based on our colors. Crooked Custodian, still good. Maestros Initiate's also good. Another Midnight Assassin, I guess these guys are just everywhere. Plasma Jockey, definitely awesome, especially if we want to be aggressive. And then we have Rock's Pummeler if we want another big creature besides Cleanup Crew. I think it's a toss-up between the Rivetier, the Charm, and the Jockey. And what are we at? Sorry, I'm just going to change this real quick just so I get a better idea. We have 2, 3, 4. And we're only on pack 2. I think we take the Plasma Jockey, I think, in this situation, because we already have 4 removal. You know, I know it's a charm, but we already have 2 of them. I don't know if we want to draw multiples of them, because it does cost 1 of each color mana, so we don't want to be stuck with them in our hand. All right, now we kind of go on to the next pack here. Call in Professional, definitely strong, you know, damage spell, deals 3 damage, can't be prevented, and it goes through shield counter, so it still kills things with shield counters on them. That's definitely very good. So I think in a weird way, us passing on the charm is made us rewarded with this red removal. Dig up the body, you know, so-so. Gold Hound, so-so, because it helps us with mana fixing. This gives enchanted creature has menace, so definitely good, and it produces treasure tokens. So this is definitely something I think can pass around to us, but I think we take the removal here because the other stuff is not good for us. I think this is okay, but yet again, we're not producing a bunch of treasure tokens, and we have to commit 3 in order to accrue it, so I think it is the call in a Professional. I could be wrong yet again. You know, it's one of those things that, you know, when you draft, it's like you're experimenting and you're trying to figure things out, trying to find your lines and kind of understanding what you're drafting. We got the Racer's Ring, which is good mana here. You know, we only have the red-black one. A green-red one would be definitely very good. And I don't really think the creatures and our colors are really, you know, sticking out to us. Yet again, we're not playing blue. You know, for the family, I don't know if we're going to get that wide that we're going to make it a super effective. Chrome Cat is a 3/2 for 3. That scries 1. Doesn't seem great. Mana fixing built into it. Definitely something to look out for if we need to. But I think it's the land over the mana fixer, to be quite honest, just because it produces 2 different colors and we can sacrifice it later to draw cards. This card's really good in the sense that we can blitz it for 4 mana, you know, swing it for 4 damage. We still get a 2/2 out of it, so it's like a 2 for 1 kind of thing. I don't know if we want to, you know, do this, gain control, make, you know, get a treasure token. I mean, it's definitely a strong play, but we don't really have a way to get rid of our opponent's creatures. I do think that's kind of like why you'd want to do something like that. Not playing white, not playing blue. I think this is better than that. This yet again, I think this is better than that. And then Rock's Pummeler, yet again, just a big card with a trample. If it has a shield counter on it, and it's a 6/3. But I think we take the Gritter Goons just because I think it's that much better. Then we go on to here. The card that really sticks out to me without actually having to look at it is probably the Murder, just because it's straight up destroy target creature for 3 mana. Though it is double black, we gotta kind of, you know, make sure we're not doing too much. I'm actually gonna move myself just because I feel like I'm gonna get in the way as the pile kind of gets a little bit bigger. I know the other, you know, we're blocking 2 cards, but it's kind of hard to say. I think I don't block enough. Sizzling Soloist is definitely very good in the idea of whenever another creature enters the battlefield under control, it can't block this turn. If the second time this ability is resolved this turn, creature attacks during its controller's next combat step, so forces attacks that maybe your opponent may not want to make. But I think it's the Murder over this. Yet again, we do get creatures. We could trigger this, but I think this is just that much better just because it's straight up removal, and it gets our number up to 5. So we are at... what do we got going on here? So we got Rakish Reveliers, kind of interesting that this passed around. But we're not going Naya, unfortunately, or I would probably think about taking it. Yet again, we're not playing a lot of spells. I mean, we are playing removal, but we're not playing, you know, Grixis, so it's definitely going to be tough to get that 1 blue. So it's probably a toss-up between, you know, the Crooked Custodian or the Jetmir's Fixer. I think this is just overall stronger because this does take mana to sink into, but if we do get treasures, it can become a big creature that opponent has to deal with. But I think we take the Custodian just because it's a 3/2 and it could be very aggressive in the early game. Then we're on to the next pack. We're not playing blue, we're not playing white, so we probably can pass on those. For the family, You know, Shattered Seraph is a card, but yet again, not really playing it. Though, and the other thing is we're not playing against the bots we're drafting against, so, you know, if we pass this, it's not like we're gonna, you know, we're not gonna get taken out by our opponent's creatures they may have drafted that we didn't pick. So I think we take another contender. We just throw it in the sideboard. I'm not sold on it. I don't think it's a great card. So definitely our colors here. I think we take the Assassin over this. I think we already have 2 Assassins though. It's a 3 mana 1/2. It's not very aggressive, not very explosive, but I think it's one of the better cards because it has evasion, has death touch, so it makes it, you know, awkward for our opponents. So I think we take it, though it's explosive. Holy crap, there's another one. Maybe we take another big drop. I think we take another big drop. I think we take the Rock's Pummeler just because, and we're just going to take cards that, you know, we'll take this. The Ominous Parcel is actually not that bad. We can maybe main deck that if we think we're, you know, feeling mana screwed. All right, so onto the last pack. So right off the bat, definitely interesting card. Equip creature gets +1/+1 for each counter on it. It's if we had planeswalkers or if we had, you know, a lot of counter generation, this card would definitely be a pick one definite. I'm not sold on it in this because we're not going to put a lot of counters on things. And it's, you know, even if we have a counter, it's not going to make our creature that much bigger. So it's definitely like a card I would take if we were playing more of a connive style deck. Slip out the back is a blue card. This is Grixis, yet again spells. We're not playing Bant, but definitely a good card. Pass on the white. Helpful Ransom's not bad in the early game. It's unfortunate when the opponent eventually gets a sacrifice hit for the 7 mana, but we get to draw a card there if we were to pick it, but we're not playing white, not playing blue. Got another Murder. I think if we grab the Murder, I think we're going to be good on removal for the most part. Cabretti Initiate, meh. Witty Roastmaster, actually not that bad if we, you know, for 3 mana, you know, getting that additional damage. We have a couple ways to produce some tokens, but not many tokens. So I think it's possibly there. Let me just go to the breakdown real quick. We're sitting at 7 instances. Wait, what are my 7 instances? Artifact, Fight Spell. I mean, if I take the Murder, then we can probably get rid of the Fight Spell, just because Fight Spells put your creatures at risk, especially if they have a combat trick. I think we take the Murder. Maybe the Roastier gets on there. We get rid of the Prize Fight. I'll pass on. Okay, so looking at the top row, we got Puglist, the boxer guy, 4/4 that we can blitz, and whenever it attacks, we create a Devil token. If we don't already, I think if we don't have one, so definitely. Oh, it's whenever. Okay, this is not what I was thinking. This is a different card. Whenever it attacks, we get a Devil token, and Devil tokens, you know, deal damage when they die to any target. So definitely good there. Forces blocks. It's a card at 3/1 for 2 mana that we can blitz for 4 that will force a block on it. Not playing white. Black's not looking great. This is definitely not bad. Maybe if this is passed around, maybe pick it up. It's definitely not bad what to do with our weaker creatures as we get into a later game. We want to get bigger creatures out. Though I would say this card's right now leading Goldhound if we want to mana fix in Rivetier's Outlook. Yet again, for more mana fixing. I think it's the Prize Fighter. I think that's definitely good there. Maybe we don't play the Pummeler in that sense then. In this one, we're not looking at anything super great. We have another Call on a Professional. Just kind of look real quick. Cleanup Crew, Birder, Citizen Plasma, Deal Gone Bad. So 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're already out our 7 removal. Though this is not bad though. I think, you know, we don't need it. In the sense because I feel like we're set up. I think it's the land over everything, as the rest of it's doesn't really fit what we need. So I think the land's always not bad to have. All right, so on to pick 4. Take to the Streets, +2/+2. We're not really getting super wide with tokens or anything. Human Warrior, not bad in the sense that it's 4/2 indestructible as long as they enter the battlefield for 3 mana. Definitely a strong card. High risk, has reach, which definitely be good against flying. You know, the Crooked Custodian, maybe it rotate around. It's still early. Maybe I don't know what the table's playing or what the table will pick. Corrupt Official, yet again another card that hurts our opponent. Even the early or late game could making them decide what they want to discard if they don't want to discard a lot. I think the Crew Captain though is the winner of this pack though, just because it's a very explosive card. Voice of the Vermin, yet again strong card, 4 mana. Our curve is very heavy on 3, though, so I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing currently. We also have 24 cards in the deck, so we're just looking at things that we can think about if we want to play them or not over other things in our deck. So I think I could always take another Voice of the Vermin. I could take another 2-drop because our 2-drop slot is literally just 1 card at the moment. So maybe the Jetmir's Fixer's probably the pick. I think this is better than this one because this one we can still pump even if we don't get a creature, whereas this one we need the creature in order to get the +1/+1. So I think we take the Fixer. I could also argue that the Voice of the Vermin's also really good because it makes any creature's base power and toughness a 4/4. But I feel like I don't want to be super top heavy. You know what? Let's just take it. Why not? Strong card. We can take another Girder Goons. Yet again, very good. It's a 4. It could be 4 or 5 mana depending on the situation. Mana fix in there. The Naya guy there. Rogue's Gallery if we want to return up to one target creature card that's a color from your graveyard to your hand. But I think we take the Girder Goons yet again. It's a strong card, makes tokens when it dies, so it definitely replaces itself. I think in this situation we probably take this. I don't know if we're gonna really, need to have cards in our graveyard, though. Drawing cards is always very good, though. I think we need more 2-drops. Our 3-drop slot's super heavy. I think that's why we're gonna take that over that. We don't need another. We don't need another one of these. Maybe Sticky Fingers, giving things menace is always very good. And then whenever it deals damage to a creature, to an opponent, we get a treasure token, and whenever it dies, we get to draw a card. So I think Sticky Fingers is not bad, though it may be one of the things we cut. Cabredi Initiate is kind of the only thing here. I don't think we're gonna play Capenna Express, so we'll just throw that over there. Yet again, nothing really sticking out. I think we just take another one of those. Wow. Yet again, another one of those. I think we've literally just gotten a set from this draft. Warm Welcome. I'm not gonna play it, but might as well throw it in the side. 3 mana, 2 mana, 2 mana. Target creature can't be blocked this turn, so it gives something like evasion in itself. So I don't think it's super amazing. I think we take the high risk and say that. Sure, we'll take the 2-drop, and we'll take the built-in removal. So overall, I think an okay draft. I don't think it's, we did okay. I think we got a few bombs. Sweet. We got Vault Progress, I guess. I don't really know. This is not my main account, so I don't really know what that means. I have 7.3 Vault Progress. Awesome. All right, so we're at 42. I mean, we could just have this in here for mana fixing because we only have, we have 3 cards. But I want to make sure we hit our double colors, so maybe we keep it just to make sure we hit our double green, double black in the deck. And we definitely need to hit our 3 of one of each color for our Riveteer's Charm, so I think we keep it. I think we get rid of a Pummeler. I think a Pummeler can go. I know it sounds weird, but I think we just get rid of one of the 2-drops. I know we don't really have a lot of early game, but drafting is slower, so we don't need to have that early game, but it's definitely good to have. But I think this is definitely a solid deck. What is my mana breakdown? Just to make sure I'm not, this is one of those other things you want to do. Black is the heavier of the deck, and then we have a split between red and green. So black is at 5, green is at 5. Because we do have the double colors, I think that's probably the right choice. Green being a little less because it's built into these 2 lands, which I think help. And then we also have a fetch, and we also have another way to fix mana. So I think overall, not a bad, pass at a draft. I do think there's definitely some possibility that, maybe we went a little too much into the 3-drop slot, but I do think the cards we did get in the 3-drop slot are probably some of the strongest in our color scheme, so definitely good there. But let's dive into some games, kind of see how we do. And all right, we're on the play. We didn't get our red mana, but I do think we're gonna get there, so I think we're gonna keep. So we don't get a draw, which is unfortunate, but it's a possibility. I mean, we're gonna play our green mana, then play our black mana, and then kind of see what happens from there. Maybe draw red. Red is, I think, the fewest in the deck, which is, now thinking about it, maybe we should have gone one more mana source. We'll just make it seem like we're playing mono green. We don't need to give away what our other colors are because we have, cards to play in those other colors. Okay, so they have a 0/4. It looks like that's one of their plays. So we'll play our black mana. We'll play our flyer. Next turn, we play a Girder Goons with Blitz if we wanted to and still get a 2/2 out of it. It's definitely a possibility. We could also, Blitz if we get a red mana. Sweet. It's a 1/5. I put a +1/+1 counter it. Amazing. Definitely a lot to put in a 0/4. I guess their plan is to... just pump it as much as possible. But I think we play this and we just immediately crack it. And we just get a red mana source, and then we add it to our hand, and we say go, no attacks. Might as well keep ourselves on the defense here. I mean, they don't really have good attacks in that sense unless they remove the Midnight Assassin, because this little 1/1's going to remove it. I mean, they could, have a way to give it a shield counter. All right, they don't play anything, which is good for us. This is actually not bad either because that removes enchantments. So we play our red spell. Do we keep just pressure on the board? We could just play a Girder Goons, just, you know, straight up. I don't think we blitz it here because, I mean, they would just eat the blitz. So I think we just play this. They may have something here. It's holding priority on something. Something stuck. No attacks. We'll sit back. All right. Something, they're not sure if they want to do whatever they have in their hand. Sure. They're thinking about it. That still dies to Death Touch, regardless. Not gonna attack because they don't have a way to get around Death Touch, possibly. I guess maybe they're checking for priority. I think we're gonna say go. We'll just pass. I'm not gonna do anything. Keep up removal. Sure. Just gonna pass. Awesome. We're just gonna play that game. Awesome. We can. Okay, we don't have the colors, unfortunately. We play that? It's a possibility. I mean, we don't have to, but I mean, might as well just get a little bit wider in case they have a way, you know. I mean, granted, they can pay mana. They also may have something for, like, maybe a Disdainful Stroke. Maybe they're waiting for us to play a big spell. It's a possibility as well. But yet again, just keeping the board as wide as possible. If they attack in, they get rid of the Midnight Assassin. We can still double block and force them to pay all their mana into their 2/6. And then the turn's pretty much over unless they have a 1-drop. A second black would be really nice, and a second red would be really nice. So, I mean, we do have other colors in the deck, I swear. Not just splashing these colors and just playing mono green with splash. Or mono black with splash, actually. We're playing more black cards than green cards. It'd be kind of bad if they gave... Sure. Oh, no! Well, they're not going to attack, because there's no point. There's still no good attacks on their end. Now we have a board that's... We're going to pass. We're going to say go. Has a shield counter. I mean, the only way... They don't have enough mana, I think, to pump and also do other combat tricks. So they have to either commit or do other things. And I think we can commit them to doing stuff to the backup agent, possibly. Maybe we can get in with the Broker's Initiate. Maybe we can get rid of the Broker's Initiate with the Rivetier's Charm. But again, they're going to pass. I mean, there's no pressure on them to really do much. We're going to say go. I mean, we're not going to attack into a 2/6 that can possibly, you know, get pumped into a, what is it, a base power and toughness of 5/5, so 6/6. There's no point. They're just going to pass as well. I mean, we're going to attempt to remove it and go from there. They want to keep it, it's fine. But I mean, then we put pressure on them on the return. Sure. Perfect. I mean, I'll eat a treasure. My turn. Alright, so we got our own deal gone bad. We could play a deal monger. That's not going to do a lot. It's a 5/4. We could just take the life, make him discard. But they just have a lot of mana open. I guess maybe just to prevent an attack. Let's attack. I have an idea. This has a yeah, that's fine. We'll make that a little bit bigger. Let's see if they block. That's the thing here. Let's see if they block. Or do some sort of removal. Let's make them spend their mana in some form of manner, because they've just been sitting on cards, right? Sure. Alright. You're gonna block, take 6. What's going on here? Are you gonna block? Sure. They're gonna take 6. We're gonna take 6, aren't we? I mean, they could just chump it with the 2/6. I mean, I don't really have anything super crazy. Okay, I'll get a 2/2. Target player mills 3. -3, -3. So if we do this, we'll mill them, right? It sounds really weird. Get rid of their other creature, and then we'll do this, and we'll make an opponent sacrifice the creature they control with the highest mana value. And we'll autopay, and then we don't have them take any damage, and then they get rid of their other creature, and then they can play their pump card, I guess, if they want to. Sure. Not doing anything. Interesting. It's always interesting when your opponent like just says go, right? And it's not like that's at flash speed. I think we swing again. See what they got. Force cards out of their hand. They've just been sitting on whatever they have in their deck. Can't pay life. I don't think that has flash. You're gonna either block or take 6. Chump in my voice is not gonna do anything immediately. It's gonna kill your 2/2. You can't tap it and sacrifice it. Sure. No. We'll play this. We'll just play another one. Oh, that costs 4 mana. And look, I was right. They had a disdainful stroke. So good thing I guess we didn't do anything. I think we still win in the race if they decide to put all in on their 2/2. And they don't. That means they possibly have something else then. Maybe they have another disdainful stroke. Charm is not terrible. I mean, I'm just going to swing in. I'm not, I'm going to be the aggressor. Maybe they pay life and they draw a card. Or gain 6 life. I don't know. I don't know what the play is. I mean, flip of a coin, I guess. See if we get lucky. No? Sure. Okay. I'll end turn. No pay in life, I guess. I don't really know. Sure. They have 4 mana. Make you sacrifice your your highest converted mana cost creature. Yes. So your 3-drop is going to go away unless you sacrifice it. That's only 2. It is your 3-drop 1/2 Death Toucher. Unfortunately. And it only costs 3 mana, so you can't disdainful stroke it. Sure. You didn't casualty it, so I'll pay the 2 extra at the end of your turn. And now you have no mana open. Second red. Awesome. Could still have a disdainful stroke. Let's attack. I have options here. I could play the pug list. You know, we'll keep the 2/2 around just because this is the stronger of the two. I think we play the Wrecking Crew because we can blitz next turn. We have him at 10. I think this is possibly a disdainful stroke because I don't know. Yeah. I think that's perfectly fine. I mean, now they're in top deck mode, and now we can just put the pressure on, like, all the way gas pedal to their face. This is going to become a 4/4, and we swing for 4 next turn, so unless they drew a creature or disdainful stroke, we're in a good position here. Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's for its blitz costs. Yeah. And then we just destroy the 3/3 and the game. And we just got extra stuff. Not bad, not bad. Game 1. Opponent goes first. I think our hand's playable. Definitely very good. We have our red mana. We have our green mana. There's no issue with mana. We got another green, so awesome there. So we got our double green. We have our double black. So we're in the position of where we want to be for our deck. And we have all the black mana in the world, even though I think it's the most out of all the cards, I think. Sure. And I think we sticky fingers and save murder. I think we overlook. We'll get a green, another green source. No, another red source. We need another red source. I mean, granted, we're gonna create treasure here, which is not bad. So definitely good there. We're gonna take a little bit of a hit. It's fine. I'll take 5. Definitely not a race I'm worried about, like, losing currently. Swing in. And we'll get a cleanup crew on turn 4. Autopay. And we'll destroy target artifact, which is their creature. So creature removal built in. Busted. Sure. Paid actor. Opponent goes first, and we're actually a very good hand for the colors we've drawn. Like, we drew black creatures, red removal, black mana, red. So I mean, we're just missing green, which I don't think is a big deal. And evasion plus menace, big. So we can't really do anything. So I guess we're playing the waiting game, unfortunately. All right, our opponent's playing Bant, Death Touch. All right, not bad. We'll play our Nightmare, or Midnight Assassin. I don't know why I said Nightmare. It's a Midnight Assassin. Maybe put Sticky Fingers on it. Get some Sticky Fingers in the air. Get some mana. Sure, I'll take 2. Right, I can do that. Some more mana, ramp it up. Making mana even though we don't have mana. I'm not really worried about their alliance here. Like, they can attack him for 5, right, is a big deal. But it doesn't really win them the early game. Like, we got to play, like, the long game, and we got a red mana. So I think we swing it for 5. We see what happens. Sure, I draw a card. Two less if it targets a black permanent. We're not playing black, so it's not gonna become cheaper. That's instant speed. I think we just play a big ol' pug list, I think that's the call. 4/4 that makes devils. It's not bad. I'll take 2 if they play a creature. We have removal, possibly, if they play. Oh, nope, we're not doing anything. Okay, okay. We're swinging. We're getting aggressive. I mean, triggers. They probably have a way to target, destroy attacking a creature. We'll get rid of that. Yeah. Let's get my little 1/1. Attack you for 4. All right, we're racing. We're racing. Sure. I don't know what are people up with this angel, you know? I don't think it's the greatest. It seems like a mana sink. Yeah, I mean, I'll attack. I'll just put pressure on. Kill. Can't be countered, can't be prevented. Or can't gain life. Darn. Nice. Did not see that happening. All right, we're at 5. Do they have something? Okay, they do. I was gonna say, I'm like, do they have something? I mean, like, they haven't done much. We got another land, which is good for us. I think we sit back now. We sit back and kind of, you know, we don't need to pressure them. Yeah, you know what? We swing for 1. We have removal. They don't want to block that because then we can just ping whatever blocks. Are we sure? So we're doing full sweep. What does this do? I mean, I will see what happens here. Sure. Sacrifice the creature with the highest mana. I think that's a 4. So yeah, we get rid of the creature that is in the air. I'm not, you know, I will swing. I'm not scared. What are you gonna do? You know, lifelink? Get one card. Murder? That's what I thought. We'll discard a card. I'll pay for life. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, that was big. That was a big play. All right, and we are back. So, I mean, overall, I think the draft went very, very well. I think their deck was decently strong. I wouldn't say it was super strong, but yet again, you know, for a free draft to kind of get some practice in drafting and then also play the games with the deck and kind of understand, you know, the ideas of, you know, when it comes to picks and the ideas of deck building and, you know, trying your best to, you know, make sure you're hitting all the points and, you know, maybe taking your time to read the cards is definitely very good. If you guys have done the midweek magic or participate in drafts, I mean, is there anything that, you know, maybe strikes out, you know, as something that I may not have covered in this video? Yet again, every set is unique, so there are challenges depending on the set. This was of the newest set, so the 3 colors thing and Fix and Mana is probably the most unique about this, I would say, over anything else. Some of the cards are definitely very, very strong. If you've been enjoying this set, it's definitely, I think, been an interesting set, to say the least. I think Standard's in an interesting place as well with all the new cards that have kind of been added to some decks that were meta and also some decks that popped up because of the new cards. But if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. If you like the video, hit that like button, definitely helps a lot. And if you're new here, you want to post new videos on the channel, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.